So we're going to bring our places of worship, and what are the steps, 5 simple steps that we can go out. We are going to play festival, which is a very important festival. Series what we are talking about today is a new by design messaging. What is a new place of worship? Why are we new? Why now? And the 5 simple steps that you need to talk about this. Those case studies we are able to see out of the building presentation. The Green by Design initiative is a design-led green community. Yes. And the basic concept of this issue which we came up with is not new. Other people have come up with initiatives. What we are promoting is the by design initiative of any design of any proposals. And therefore, it is based on facilitating, enabling, and empowering the community to come up with their own green model. And those questions formulate our initiative. What if your mosque will only need a low visual funding? It doesn't have to be mosque, it's a place of worship. Whether it's a church, whether it's a synagogue, whether it's a temple, or whether it's a mosque. But in our case, because we are dealing with mosques, and because most of our clients come up to design their mosque, we basically are focusing on that. But it doesn't mean that a place of worship has to be a mosque. And so these initiatives apply to any place of worship that we can talk about, or we can look into. So what if your mosque will only need the minimum for it to run? What if that is possible? Is it possible, and how to achieve it? What are the impact, or what impact will it have on your community, whether it's social impact, whether it's economic impact, and whether it's the well-being of the person, of the group, and the group of this community. So well-being is very important, but of course economic and social infrastructure are very crucial. But well-being is we all know that well-being is only and more appreciated is when there is a group of people gathered together like us now on Sunday afternoon, exchanging food, exchanging thoughts, sharing knowledge, and that basically becomes a very interesting dialogue. Next week. What is a green place of worship? Next please. A place of worship for a mosque is like a living organism. It has to behave just like any living organism behaves. So just like the body is made of organs, organs is made of organs, the hands, the feet, the head, and that's basically what a mosque should be. It's a living organism. It has to be totally interconnected, and so that it actually can work. And a place of worship should be led, should lead the way to the well-being of the life. So when we talk about well-being, it is all about making sure that everything is connected, everybody is talking to each other, everybody's healthy, everybody's exercising, the well-being of the mental well-being, the physical well-being, and so on and so forth. But that can only be achieved if everybody is together. Whether it doesn't matter what the faith is, people somehow don't have that. They just, they're all part of that chain. And the only thing that binds everyone together is faith. It's the common interest in humanity, and that basically is what a community should be all about. So it plays for all of us to thrive. This is a diagram that shows the different aspects. It's all about strategic thinking. The place of worship, in the case of a mosque, it's all about strategic thinking. We need to think strategically about how to go about building or renovating or retrofitting any place that we need to turn into a green. We need to have a shared vision. All of us need to align focus. We need to define the design brief. We need to understand what is the must-haves of the community members, what are the nice-haves. That's very important. And what's more important as well is the place of worship to be self-sufficient. What if a place of worship can be self-sufficient? That means we don't ask for as much for donations. What if that can be possible? The integrated solutions, like for example, artificial intelligence is very, very in the now. So, the faster we embark on that with our places of worship and the way they are managed, the better we can use this technology. How is natural light being used? What kind of energy are we actually saving? We talk about that when we see the public case studies. What are the impacts of gardens? What are the impacts of green space? The building systems. When I talk building systems, I talk air conditioning, I talk heating, I talk cooling. And what if these elements could be sustainably driven to lower energy goals that we have? The management of any place of worship, of any facility, is one of the most important aspects of the success of any project. The better managed a facility, the better it will age. Without management, all the money that is spent in building it, designing it, and building it is just going to go short. So I cannot stress more on that. And then you've got circular economy. I'm using these words because these are part and parcel of any discussion that we have with local authorities. It has to have a sustainable approach. Circular economy is when the material, for example, that you use, like the bricks, the wood, timber, if they are made of natural materials, later on when we want to decommission that building, they will be put in use to other buildings. So that is an example of what a circular economy is. And then the perpetuity. If this building can live in perpetuity, then that is amazing. So what is a green place of worship? Is it being one with nature? The picture on the right side is an actual evidence of what happens when calamity takes place and we stay all together. This is at a mosque in Addington. This is the Highway Community Centre. We gathered there during COVID because we could not really congregate internally. So everybody had to go out. And we are lucky to have a very beautiful setting. And the management thought about it and then said, okay, let's just go be outside. And that picture which I took is an example of how man and nature can coexist. Now, how can we recreate that in a way that would make it perpetually used in rain and in winter and in an environment where it can be internal? That's an external environment which we could afford being there because it wasn't raining. What if we can recreate that? And that gave us a lot of ideas of how to actually start thinking about integrating nature in the places of worship. Next, please. Now, we talk about natural light, we talk about green spaces, we talk about water consumption, electric consumption, and waste management. These are very, very important to consider. So the green place of worship adopts a holistic approach to sustainability. It should set a benchmark for others to adopt green principles. Next, please. This is an example of what natural light and how it can be integrated within an architecture and a place of worship. Architecture, structure, and interior design all are combined in one, and it gives you a beautiful, next please, a beautiful setting. This is an example as well of the space and the mosque that is being designed for Addington Highway Community Centre. This is what you see. It is fully integrated within the environment. It's known to be the largest green roof mosque in the world. Now, I don't know, if you go back one, please. Back one, please. Now, that's the roof of the building. It's not a building, it's just a roof. Next. Next. Next again. Can you click on that, please? So that is showing us, what the green roof is. It's the largest, one of the largest living green roof potentially in the UK. So it is actually, overwhelming when you can integrate with nature, and the building can just take place, without it being disturbing the environment. That is what we are looking at. So coexisting with nature is key. Coexisting with the environment that we are in is key. Being respectful to the setting of any place is key. Next, please. And then structure. Structure becomes a main issue of how to consider going about. Next, please. Ablution, water usage is super important. And what if we could combine, ablution, washing, rainwater collection, surface water collection? We can collect that and then reuse it in flushing toilets, use it in multiple ways, use it in sometimes, watering your plants or watering all of these areas in terms of irrigation when the drought is there. Next, please. And then talk about interior design as well. But then again, why now? Why green mosques? Because mosques are hubs to communities. They form a leadership. We need them to lead the way. They form role models. People in the community are role models for everybody who attend them. And they promote the Islamic duty of conservation, because we have to be conserving each and every element of our environment, and an educational center like we have today. Next, please. This is an example of how a beautiful integration can take place within the green spaces. This is the Ahmadi Center in England. Next, please. There are challenges. There are always challenges. But let me just run you through the what could be a very good thing that we do. It's all about green by design. We choose to do it. It's not an option. It's all about the embodied energy that we use. It's all about water consumption, how we manage it, how we recycle it, how we collect it, and how we use it, and how we go again. It's all about electric consumption. It's all about waste management. I'm going a bit fast because I don't have much time. Next, please. Is it a new build? Is it a retrofit? Every project would have its own case really. Our colleagues in Bristol, they have the projects against plastic initiative, which is a great one. What if we can use low-flow water taps to basically reduce the amount of water we use? Treatment facilities, and so on and so forth. Natural light is key to get into this space. Heating and cooling systems, they're all important to integrate, but they have to be designed, pre-designed from the very beginning, not post. That would make things cheaper. Again, we talk about circular cooling. Next, please. This is a case study in Glasgow. This is just a case study that was done on, I think, 10 mosques around the world. And I chose Glasgow because it's local to us. And this is all about how to integrate solar panels and what that would actually make in terms of saving money and making the most quite self-sufficient. And these are preliminary assessments, and then the idea of how much sun is it really going to take. Next, please. And then the solar assessment based on the roofs which will take all of these solar panels, and what are the costs and benefits, what are the additional benefits, how much are we actually saving, what is the amount of time that we need to spend to get back our investment, so what is the return on investment. Next. And then the conclusion. The conclusion is about how much are we reducing, how many jobs are we really creating by saving those investments? How many trees could we have really built, planted? How many people are involved? How much did we save in terms of fuel or waste? Next, please. In terms of, in the case of Glasgow, you've got 23% energy efficiency in that regard. You've got 30% water saving. You've got 81% less embodied energy if that is an assessment, if you basically take on the 5 steps. Next. It is all about that. Everything we do, it's all about that. Whatever we plan now, whatever we design now, it will be basically for that. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sammy, for that excellent presentation and for a thought-provoking presentation. The next slot we have is for the theatre group. Al-Khayal, are you ready? Al-Khayal, for the next session. Thank you.
If that first one sent you into the land of dreams, this next story is sure to wake you up. Because this next story is a workout. It's one of those stories that repeats, and it's got lots of different actions. So, why not join in? Eh? Why not see if you can follow with the actions? You going to join in? Yeah? You don't have to come on stage because you can do them there. You can do them there, that's fine. You going to join in? Yeah? Put the phones down, get a bit active, yeah? See if you can join in the action. See if you can remember them all and wake yourself up. Yeah? Well, if that's too much for you, then please join me in a call and response. So when I say, I can't get a kernel of corn, can you all shout that? To save my life from the farmer's wife. Okay? That's a practice. I can't get a kernel of corn to save my life from the farmer's wife. Okay, let's do it with a bit more life in it, shall we? Okay, so I can't get a kernel of corn to save my life from the farmer's wife. Okay, you've got to keep the ring, you've got to keep it a bit, you know, get a bit lively with it. So, this story is from the Sikh tradition, and in the Sikh tradition, the banyan tree is sacred. It is a symbol of caring for others. This is another story, a quirky, wise tale about ecology. Because the banyan tree, some banyan trees, you know, large ones, can give shade to a whole village. Well, in this story, the farmer's wife was sat under the shade of the banyan tree. And she was sifting her corn when suddenly a crow flew down, stole a kernel of corn, and flew off it. Well, this farmer's wife had worked too hard gathering her harvest of corn to lose any of it. So she took some dried mud and she threw it at the crow. It hit the crow, fell to the ground, and the kernel of corn rolled along the ground and fell down a hole between the roots of the banyan tree. The farmer's wife tried to reach the kernel of corn, but she couldn't. So she went over to that crow, who was still lying on the ground, stars going around his head, and she said, "Crow, fetch that kernel of corn, or I will eat you instead." Well, as you can imagine, the crow was terrified. And so it went over to the hole between the roots of the tree. And it tried to get the kernel of corn. But try as it might, it couldn't reach it. And it said, "Don't worry, farmer's wife, I know what to do. I will fetch the kernel of corn." And then away it flew. And the crow went to the first action, wouldn't cut down the tree. And so the crow flew on and it came to the king. And it said, King, King, punish the woodcutter. The woodcutter won't cut down the tree. And I can't let it go, let go. Think that's what the farmer's wife. But the king wouldn't punish the woodcutter, and so the crow flew on and it came to the queen. And it said, Queen, Queen, plead with the king. The king won't punish the woodcutter. The woodcutter won't cut down the tree. And it can't let go, let go. But the queen wouldn't plead with the king. And so the crow flew on and it came to the snake. And it said, Snake, Snake. But the queen won't plead with the king won't punish the woodcutter won't cut down the tree, and it can't let it go, But the snake wouldn't bite the queen, and so the crow flew on, and it came to the stick, and it said, Stick, beat the snake won't bite the queen won't plead with the king won't punish the woodcutter won't cut down the tree, and it can't let it go, But the stick wouldn't beat the snake, and so the crow flew on, and it came to the fire. And it said, Fire, burn the stick won't beat the snake won't bite the queen won't plead for the king won't punish the woodcutter won't cut down the tree, and it can't let it go, The fire wouldn't burn the stick. And so the crow flew on and it came to the water. And it said, Water, put out the fire. The fire won't burn the stick won't beat the snake won't bite the queen won't plead for the king won't punish the woodcutter, But the water wouldn't put out the fire, and so the crow flew on and it came to the ox. And he said, Ox, drink the water. The water won't put out the fire won't burn the stick won't beat the snake won't bite the queen won't plead for the king won't touch the woodcutter, and the woodcutter won't cut down the tree, and I But the ox wouldn't drink the water. And so the crow flew on and it came to the rope. And it said, Rope, tie up the ox. The ox won't drink the water won't put out the fire won't burn the stick won't beat the snake won't bite the queen won't plead the king won't touch the woodcutter won't cut down the tree, and But guess what? The rope wouldn't tie up the ox, and so the crow flew on, and it came to the mouse. And it said, Mouse, chew on the rope. The rope won't tie up the ox won't drink the water won't put out the fire won't burn the stick won't beat the snake won't bite the queen won't plead for the king won't punish the woodcutter won't cut down the tree, and I got And the mouse said, The crow, you can't cut down the banyan tree. If you cut down a banyan tree, well, the woodcutter will have no branches to cut. And the king and the queen will have no shade to enjoy. The snake will have no vines to climb. The sticks will have no friends to play with. The fire will have no old leaves to burn. The water will have no roots to nourish. The ox will have nothing to rub its back on, and the rope will have no branches to hang from. Crow, if you cut down the banyan tree, everybody suffers. And the crow said, But I can't get a bundle of corn!
It's got my wife and the farmer's wife.
And the mouse said, Oh, Crow, you need to ask the help of the wisest person I know. Who's that? The banyan tree. And so the crow flew on to the banyan tree. And he said, "Tree, I need the mouse to chew on the rope, to tie up the ox, to drink the water, to put out the fire, to burn the stick, to fight the snake, to fight the queen, to bleed with the king, to cut down you." And the tree laughed and said, "Oh, crow, there's no need for all of that. Little mouse, please go down in the hole and fetch that kernel of corn for the crow." And so the little mouse went down. He fetched that kernel of corn, which he gave to the crow, who returned to the farmer's wife, who sat down in the shade of the banyan tree to sift a kernel of corn. And as the crow flew away, it occurred to him that when you think only of yourself, you get nothing but trouble. But think of others, everything turns out
Now we've got treat, we've got some beautiful girls who are going to do an Indian dance for us, but they're going to tell us all about it. So, these girls, come and do your little speech about where you're from and what your dance is.
Hello everyone, my name is Malati. I'm a Rishpita. We're from the Teacher School of Dance and based in Australia. We're the dance who learn under Venu teacher. Today we're going to do a dance about the goddess Shakti. She's the embodiment of Shakti, who is the other form of Shiva. She's also known as the giver of life, which is very related to others. She gives and she fulfills our life, so very important that.
poem. And then we've got some people going to sing a harvest song or two, and then our marathon harvest afternoon will come to a close. So next we've got 3 people doing short talks about their sustainability. So who's starting? Yeah.
Thank you again for being with us, and I hope you enjoyed the piece of cake. And thanks to Asif and Tamkin who organized the cake. I hope you enjoyed this afternoon. This is a variety program, and thanks for being with us. And please continue to the end. We might have a few more surprises for you, hopefully. The next speaker is Zainab Mahmood. She's a journalist. She's an editor of Green Fashion and founder of Ahista Stories, which is a South Asian sustainable fashion community. She has appeared on Islam Channel, a talk on the intersection of climate justice, Islamic teachings and sustainable fashion, and she'll be talking on Muslims going green initiatives in the Muslim and South Asian communities. So can I ask Zainab Mahmood to please come forward? Thank you.
Since 2019, I've been campaigning and creating educational resources on the harmful environmental and human impacts of the fashion industry, and writing for award-winning publications like Gaudan and The Guardian on the intersections between fashion, faith, climate, and activism. I'm also in the middle of doing a master's in environment, politics, and development studies. I'll be talking about a number of localized, smaller-scale projects led by Muslims looking to combat climate change, including various green Ramadan campaigns which promote reduced food waste, plastic waste, and meat consumption, Cambridge Central Mosque in the UK, which is powered by green energy, the installation of solar panels in mosques across Morocco and Jordan, as well as an exciting event I'm hosting as part of Ahista Stories next Saturday. Umbrella Earth, which is an alliance of several organisations working to empower Muslims to lead the ways of climate justice, partnered with Greenpeace Middle East a couple of years ago to analyse the potential costs of solarising 10 mosques worldwide. The research showed that solarising these mosques would generate jobs, save money, and reduce their carbon footprint. I don't think any of those mosques have been solarised just yet, but already back in 2015 in Jordan, there were 400 mosques running on solar energy and 600 mosques in Morocco in 2017. The research, I think he slightly misunderstood how solar energy works, but Amara gave a really sweet quote about installing solar panels on the Kutubia Mosque in Marrakesh, saying the good thing about solar energy is that unlike electricity, it is always available. It's from God, which I thought was really sweet, even though I don't think he quite understood how solar energy works. Here in the UK, we've got Cambridge Central Mosque. been dubbed as Europe's first eco-friendly mosque. The architects who designed it sought to marry traditional Islamic architecture, geometry, and horticulture with indigenous English materials, plants, and craftsmanship to design the building. So alongside having a near zero carbon footprint, the architecture honours natural forms, it's sustainable solar vaulting, and reminds visitors of our connection to nature. The building is naturally lit all year round by large skylights in the roof, supplemented by low energy LED bulbs, and has solar panels on its roof. As well as being very well insulated and naturally ventilated, the mosque is heated and cooled by locally generated energy, and rainwater are harvested to flush toilets and irrigate grounds. Of course, it's a big undertaking for mosques already in existence to install solar panels and other technologies to save energy and water, but there are a number of low-cost initiatives that can help to reduce plastic and food waste, particularly in Ramadan. Green Ramadan or Green Iftar have become trends worldwide, whereby mosques and other community spaces host iftars with only reusable cutlery and tableware, they host vegetarian iftars to raise awareness about the environmental impact of the meat. The Green Bean Tribe is a UK initiative which seeks to reconnect to the internal relationship of nature and the Islamic teachings of spirituality and tending to the earth. Over the past few years, they've hosted a few green iftars in different locations in London, alongside hosting film screenings, retreats, workshops, walks, and other activities with the intent of holding nature in a safe space. Especially for young people, it's a great group to get involved in, particularly if you're feeling overwhelmed by the state of our world and want to find like-minded people who can share ideas and tackle climate change with. Similarly, Sustainably Muslim is a community organisation that over the past few years has been inspiring Muslims to serve the environment and their community through panels, workshops, and volunteering opportunities like at their community garden. I met the founder, Nazi Sultana, at the beginning of this year as we worked on the messaging for the initial 2 Billion Strong campaign, focusing on engaging Muslims in climate action. 2 Billion Strong is now a global network that sits under Sustainably Muslim, enabling Muslim activists to coordinate and collaborate. And in the spirit of collaboration and the alignment of Ahista stories and Sustainably Muslim's values, we thought they'd be the perfect partners for Ahista Stories Live, London's first ever South Asian Sustainable Fashion Festival, sponsored by Walker. It's taking place next Saturday, the 7th of October at Poplar Union in East London, and Nazia will be speaking on the panel about faith and sustainable fashion alongside 2 panelists of other faiths who you can see here. We're really excited about the interfaith dialogue, and I think it will be inspirational for people of all different belief systems. There are also 2 other panel discussions on the day and 4 workshops teaching skills in mending, embroidery, and upcycling. Tickets start at £5, and you can scan the QR code here on the screen to grab your tickets. I'll also be hanging around for a few minutes, so if you need to chat about it, I will leave it. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Zainab Mahmood, for that interesting talk about the initiative that's going on in the Muslim community and the South Asian communities. We next have Peter Wright, who is from St. Anselm's Catholic Church, and he's going to talk about the letter. You may ask, what is the letter? The letter is something that everyone needs to see. And you can see it, I believe, on YouTube. It's a letter issued by the Pope, the head of the Catholic Church, and it basically is a call out for humanity, for leaders of governments to wake up and face up to the environmental crisis and challenge that we are facing, which if the worst forecast come to light, it could lead to human extinction and large numbers of people dying, etc. So Peter Wright is here to give us a short talk on that. Thank you.
So first of all, thank you. And the letter is based on a letter that Pope Francis wrote 8 years ago now for the whole world. And it's called Laudate Si, which means praise be. And that's based on his namesake, St. Francis, who was a man who was completely immersed in his relationship with nature. And it reminds us that we are all interconnected, that God is within everything. And what Pope Francis says is that there is a connection between humans and the whole of nature. And he says, listen to the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor. They are interconnected. So it's a merger of social justice and environmental justice. And he talks about the need for an ecological conversion. All of us need to think about the way we're living. And the film, which lasts about just over an hour, and it's a simple introduction to, I guess, what Pope Francis is saying. And he's really saying, nobody has all the answers, but we need to listen especially to those people who don't normally have a voice. So the letter is addressed to 4 different groups of people. One of them is a refugee. He's in Senegal, and where he's living is being washed away by the sea. So he's thinking, I can't sustain my life here. Another is an indigenous person in the Amazon, and his fear is that the rainforest is being chopped down and all the knowledge that these people has is being lost. There's a young woman who's in India who's talking about environmental concerns, and there are 2 scientists who are looking at the coral reefs throughout the world. So they're speaking on behalf of nature. So the message really of the film is that we need to listen to each other, that we are all responsible in our own way for doing something about this. And just to lead on from that, there is a movement, certainly within the Catholic Church, which is called Laudate Si, and it's asking all Catholics to reach out, to be open, to have dialogue with everyone. So it's not exclusively a religious thing with particular groups, but we all need to share in our responsibilities. And out of the Laudate Si movement, there is a connection between what the church might be saying and what individual churches, and all of us, can be doing locally. And in St. Anselm's, what we're doing is we've got something entitled Live Simply, which also takes on from the Catholic movement, which is Catholic, it's an environmental, it's an aid agency. But the idea is that all of us need to take responsibility for what we're doing, for our lives, in terms of how we're consuming. Do we need to consume so much? Can we not reduce our carbon footprint? What we're doing for the environment and what we're doing for our neighbours. So it's all interconnected. And similarly with the eco-church, it's almost like, let's almost like have some goals to make a change. We could all make a difference if we make choices about our lives. And the phrase is, let us live more simply so that others and all creation may simply live.
Thank you, Peter, and thank you for your patience. It's been a very long time. get it done, but it's a busy afternoon, and we have to try to fit everybody in as much as possible. So we've got one more talk, which is from Ian Morris. He's also been very patient, and with a nice table there. He's from Sustainable Thornton Heath, which work with local communities to improve sustainability and environmental concerns. So I'll report it to Ian. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So my name is Ian Morris. I'm here with my colleague Marion. We co-founded a community group called Sustainable Thornton about 4 years ago. So as the name suggests, it's a place-based voluntary group. We are basically, the idea is to try and make Thornton a more sustainable place to live. But even though it's place-based, we don't put up boundaries to other people from other places. So for example, I think in our Facebook group, we've really got someone from West Africa. So wherever you are welcome to the group, and we've made it place-based just to give people a little bit of a bit of identity. So we started around 4 years ago, and at the moment our main activities are every 2 months we have a free community event, which is at Thornton Heath Salvation Army, which is called a pop-up sustainable living hub. And what we try and do there is we try and cover a whole range of sustainable living areas and topics under one roof. So for example, you can come and you can get free cycle repairs, free electrical repairs, which is why we've got a toaster and a kettle on the table, if anyone's wondering why that's there. You can also learn some clothes mending skills from some local sewists. We've got plant-based diet advice and recipes from Korean vegetarian vegans who also make our refreshments, which you can buy. We have refills of a range of cleaning and body products, which you can also buy. There's children's activities, which are often themed either a lot or loosely on environmental issues. You can get advice from Ethical Consumer on which banks, which financial service providers are good for people applying to which aren't, which is an area where a lot of us don't think when we think about our carbon impact, is we don't think about our bank accounts. But there's an organisation called Make My Money Matter, which shares that your pension scheme, if you can believe your pension scheme, which is not easy, it's not also possible, it's around 21 times more impactful apparently than reducing your flying, going vegan, and other transport issues. So finance is a big thing. So if you come to our hubs, you can find out where your bank is, your insurance company, your pension provider is on that ranking, and you can also see which are the top of the list and think about switching your accounts, for example. We also have free home energy advice. So basically, there's a lot of free things for community under one roof. The only things that we charge for, which is optional, are refreshments and our refills of products. The other thing that we do is we do a monthly electrical repair party. So in between the bi-monthly hubs, we also do a standalone repair party, which is at St. Albans the Martyr, which is a high church, which is also in Thornton. So we are really about bringing some action to the community, which is tangible, and we also have a community coffee waste collection scheme where members of the community collect coffee waste from a local coffee shop, and they take it to their allotments, their composts, or to other green spaces to make it into compost to enrich the soil. So that's another small thing that we do. I also just wanted to mention a few of the groups that couldn't be here today who are also Croydon Green groups, just so that people aren't aware. There's Croydon Climate Action, which is a group that's affiliated to Friends of the Earth. There's Croydon Extinction Rebellion, and there's also Croydon Greenpeace as well. So there's a number of other groups in Croydon which, if you'd like to get involved, you can do. So just to make it aware of that. And every 2 months, that group on a social and kind of networking basis who meets at East Frenville. It's on the 3rd Wednesday of every 2 months. So the next one will be November the 15th, which is a Wednesday evening. So we basically meet there from 7 o'clock, and it's just a space where each of the groups just talk for a few minutes about their group, what they're planning, what their challenges are, how they meet, how they get in contact, followed by some socialising. So that's every 2 months at the Spring Pub. It's also really good to hear so much today from the different faiths in terms of what each of the faiths are doing. And I would say here, people who are members or even leaders of churches that are here as well. If your institution is not doing anything yet, I would really encourage you to try and mobilize something yourselves, speak to your members, speak to your leaders, try and get something going. Because if you're not doing it, you've got to ask the question, given where we are in the climate crisis, why you're not doing that. So please think about doing that, talk to your other members, and try and mobilize something. And you can get support from those various support programs that we've heard about from the various faiths on as well. I just want to close by an article I read a few months ago, which really kind of resonated with me. Apparently, someone tried to quantify how much of our environmental impact we can actually impact on ourselves, and they reckon that it's about 25%. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't do things ourselves, because that's still quite a lot. But around 75% of a lot of the impacts we see is really in the hands of where the power is, which is governments and big business. So then we have to think about ourselves, well, how can we influence those bigger organisations? And that's about how we spend our money, what we do buy, what we don't buy, where we buy from. And it's also around government. I would always encourage people to make sure that you vote in local and national elections. And when you vote, please put climate at the top of your agenda. It's no longer an afterthought now. Please don't think about short-term measures like tax cuts. Think about the environment, think about your children, think about your grandchildren. If you can't go and look at the manifestos of the different parties in detail, because it's quite a long process, you can also look at organisations like Friends of the Earth and Greenpeace, which will basically analyse those manifestos for you and tell you which party is top of the plan in terms of helping the environment and which is less so. So please do that. And I would just say to the organisers, I know you've made some efforts around compostable packaging, but do think about trying to have no single use and think about having plant-based if it's going to be a sustainable focused conference. So, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Ian, for the tips, and we tried our best, but obviously, you know, so we have to close. And we'll try better next time. So I've got one more speaker, Rosa from Fair Trade. Could Rosa come to the podium and say a few words? Thank you.
In 2001, the Fair Trade Group was set up in Croydon, and we were the first Fair Trade London borough. Can you hear me all right?
Yes. Of course.
In February this year, we celebrated in the Mayor's Parlour with both the mayors and with all the councillors, all these over 20 years of activity in Croydon. It's still vital that we buy fair trade goods so that we can ensure that the hard work done by the primary producers is rewarded properly. I'm looking forward to putting more information in the newsletter for Faiths Together in Croydon whenever we have an event taking place. The next one that I'm sure of is next September, but there may be one or two before. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Rosa. The next session we have is Al Theatre Company for the last session. Can I ask them to come to the podium? Thank you.
And you're listening to folk music from Yemen, where this last story comes from. But I'm going to begin by talking and tell the story with a couple of anecdotes by Mullah Nasruddin. Maybe you've not heard of Mullah Nasruddin. Maybe you've heard of Hoja Nasruddin. Maybe you've heard of the Jocha. Yeah, maybe some nodding heads. Maybe you've not heard of him at all, but he is a wise fool. And so, Molly Nasruddin was working on a farm. And he went out to harvest, and it was a beautiful autumn day. He went out to do an honest, hard day's work. Well, he looked around for 5 minutes and decided to have a rest and sit under a tree. So he sat down under a walnut tree. He's looking up and he saw the little walnuts hanging from the branches. And he looked around and he saw pumpkins. Great big pumpkins. Sprawling all over the place, taking up loads of space. And he said, you see, Lord, wouldn't it have been better if those little walnuts, they could have been grown on the ground? And those big pumpkins that are taking up all that space, they could have been up there, growing on the tree. Yeah. Suddenly, a walnut fell out of the tree and hit him on the head. Mullah Nasruddin looked up at the tree. He looked down at the pumpkins and he said, Allah. Let's do things your way. You know better, as always. A wise tale, a wise fool. Now this tale comes from the city of Sana'a, Yemen. Long ago, there was a city underneath which rivers flow. And every day in that city, you would hear a sound went like this. Pray, pray. It was the sound of wooden pulleys, as well men drove their donkeys hauling water from the wells. And the people in that city, they lived in lofty palaces, houses, some of them 5 stories high, crowned with gleaming belvederes. They were the colour of ochre, same as the mountains, decorated in white gypsum, like icing on gingerbread. And if the people stood on the roofs of those houses and they looked to the north, they saw a dew. The side of the mountain was emerald green. They were looking at the garden of Abu Hakim. Now, the garden of Abu Hakim was famous throughout Yemen. It grew the finest fruits and vegetables and herbs, but as famous as the garden was Abu Hakim's generosity. Every day, he would welcome people as it was. Whenever there was a drought in Yemen, Abu Hakim's garden stayed green. Well, the years passed. Abu Hakim grew old, and he died. And the people grieved, they mourned, they planted flowers on his grave. The garden was inherited by his 3 sons. One day, the 3 sons were walking in the garden, and one of them said, I do not think that this will ever pass. The other 2 agreed, and then greed took hold. And another said, just think if everything in this garden was sold instead of being given away, just think how much money we would make. And so, at night, in secret, the brothers harvested all of the produce from the garden and they locked it away in a barn. And when the people came with their baskets, the brothers said, go away, there's nothing for you, unless you can pay. For the brothers harvested far more than they could sell, far more than they produced themselves, and so the fruits and the vegetables just rotted away in the barn. And the people in Sana'a went hungry. Then, one day, a breeze blew. It blew across the grave of Abu Hakim, and he carried with it a seed from a flower that grew there, and that seed drifted across the city. And it came to land in the precincts of the masjid, where the people made their ablutions to pray, and water dropped onto the seed, and a flower began to grow. And the people saw it, and they said, we can grow a garden. We can grow a garden in our city. And so they built channels from the masjid across the city, carrying the water of their wudu in streams. And between the houses in the courtyards, they grew gardens. Bunches of bright green parsley, rocket of fennel, chives, basil, mint, crispy white radish, pretty quince, fig trees, orangey marigolds, the black of blooming mulberry. And the people remembered the generosity of Abu Hakim. And so they shared whatever harvest they grew. Hearts flourished. The people lived well in that city, underneath which rivers flow. And I'm going to close with a very wise little story. Mullah Nasruddin. One day, Mullah Nasruddin, again, he was sitting under a tree. He had a bunch of grapes. And some children came and they asked Mullah Nasruddin to share the grapes out between them. And he said, of course, children. Now, would you like me to divide them by man's share or by God's share? And the children said, oh, God's share, please, God's share. So, Mullah Nasruddin took the grapes and he gave 3 grapes to one child. He gave 5 grapes to another child. He gave 1 grape to another child. He gave half a dozen to another, a dozen to many of the children. He gave no grapes at all. And the children said, Mullah Nasruddin, how is this God's share? And Mullah Nasruddin said, because children, it's all about what you choose to do next. Now, when I first told this story many years ago, I was actually handing out grapes to the children. And there was one child that only given him 1 grape. And I was about to move on to the next story, and he was doing this, and I said, what are you doing with that grape? He said, I'm trying to cut it in half so I can share it with my friend. So, I leave you with that story of hope, our beautiful youth. You are our future and our hope. Thank you very much for inviting me to this.
Well, those 3 tales were absolutely thought-provoking and fascinating, and we probably all wake up in the night going, oh. But thank you very, very much for coming and doing your lovely storytelling. Now we've got 2 more things, last but not least. So next is our very own Ted Smith-Orr of Poets Anonymous in Croydon. He's going to tell you, I think, a couple of harvesty sort of poems. And then we have got 2 lovely people who've come to sing to us for our finale. So, Ted, come here.
You'd be pleased to know I can't remember 1 word.
Just to say, as you've noticed during the afternoon, you have to practice between days.
I have allergies to these things because I never know whether you can hear them or not. But I can feel this one, and it feels like a good one. Right. I'll do it this way. It's the 14 steps, it's not 14 at all. It's the 20 odd steps from seat to microphone that sets my heart a story. And I wonder whether all the words I've been, things I've been thinking of while sitting down there for hours, whether they come out in the right order, or come out at all. What I would like to say is, I hope this doesn't sound patronising, is to congratulate all of you from your different religions, your different backgrounds, your different areas, that you're all sharing your differences and you make an effort to come and do exactly that, and it's tremendously valuable. And also, I'm sure you do a tremendous amount of work. I know people that make Elizabeth, etc. And that lovely gentleman up there. Right. That's got that one out of the way. Now, there's two, I get to a lot of noises like that. There's a couple of poets that come to mind. John Bettsman wrote a wonderful Easter poem about the congratulate myself there because I actually remember the names and the names of poems, which is quite miraculous. Well, I have two things I'd like to indulge you. One is, they're both by members of Poets Anonymous. One of those members is me, and it's called Dandelion, or Prayer to Nature. And the other one is a song for Wongle. Yes, it might be better called Wongle Park. And it's by a gentleman called George Wright. Right, here we go. I love you, angry nature that shows no kindness, no mercy to the timid or weak. Your spiteful beauty gives refuge to the small, yet one sting recoils a brave inquiry. I love you, carpet valleys, green, stained, secret lanes and tracks that twist and jump and double back, laughing at their wits. Hills that strain and ache to meet their heights. I love you, mysterious embankments reflecting chalk ghosts in night mist, the silver birch glowing in the dark and dappled by day. Why did nature cheat one so elegant as you? I love you, hedgerows with frightened hair and arrogant trees that shed their clothes in defiance of winter. The ignorant leaf that dances in headlights, pirouettes and dies. I love you, badger and red fox, how you forage and scamper ageless runs, regardless of the roads, the furtive owl that fakes a passive role surreptitious overhead. I love you, rainwater, streaming and gushing, flowing down roads, washing all that precedes you, how you shape your own channels and find your own home. I love you, single dandelion, who breaks the concrete slab and reminds the non-believer you have persistence that we will never know. It's the power of nature. Now, George's poem is, I actually think it's fantastic. It's not exactly a chorus, but every now and again a phrase comes up. Let's hear it for the flowers and the bees. Well, let's hear it, yeah, okay. Don't go on, George. Let's hear it. No, it's not like that. I'm good at that. Nothing happened. I wasn't going to introduce this to anything might happen. It might be active disastrous or rubbish. Let's hear it to the flowers and the bees. let's hear it for the flies and the worms, for the seagulls and the terns, the slugs and the snails, and all their glassy trails. Let's hear it for the foxes ghosting by, and the swallows flying high, and for the lichen and the stone and the thistle and the fern. Oh, let's hear it for the toads and the frogs, and the newts down by the logs, the bushes on the shelf leaf, and all life beneath. Let's hear it for the moles in their mound, and the rabbits underground, and the badgers in their sets, the mice, the voles, the ferrets. Let's hear it even for the cabbage white, and the moths that fly at night, the damsels and the dragonflies, and the bats up in the skies. Let's hear it for pipit, lark and owl, and all the fish and fowl, from the milfoil, sedge and frond, and the lilies in the pond. Can we hear it for every living thing? Can we squeak or squeal or sing? For the stone and the sand and the clay, and the frost at night, and the sun at day. Let's praise all the footpaths, each park and every stream, let the willows go weeping. Let's save this urban dream. Well done, Jim.
Thank you, Poets Anonymous. And now, last but very much not least, we have from Kudos Gospel Choir, we've got Tanya and Leon, and they're going to sing to us. And I love this because my daughter belonged to a gospel choir years ago, and she met her husband, who was also in that gospel choir, and now they've been married for 10 years. Wow. And, babies and whatnot, and so gospel choirs are quite close to my heart, actually. But Tanya and Leon's going to play the piano, so that's even better for us. So over to you, thank you.
Thank you, you're very kind. Okay, this first song is called Falling in Love with Jesus. I think everything starts from the relationship as much as you might go to church or know of church. It does start with a relationship, as far as our Christianity goes. Love it. Falling in love with Jesus. Falling in love with Jesus. Falling in love with Jesus is the best thing I have ever done. In his arms, I feel protected. In his arms, never disconnected, no. In his arms, I feel protected. There's no place I'd rather be. So what a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry. We came to come and pray. Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pain we bear. Oh, because we did not carry. And we thank to God and pray. The song is called Goodness of God. I'm about to go into. It's a lovely song, just to give honor to how God's been good and how He's always there through everything. And He doesn't let us go. He always provides. I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. Every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire in darkest night. You are close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. And I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so, so good. Every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Goodness is running after, is running after me. Your goodness is running after, is running after me. With my time, I surrender now. of the goodness of God.
Great, fantastic. More.
Fantastic, thank you so much. Lovely, lovely playing. So all that is left is Bruce, come. This is the secretary of South London Interfaith Group. As I said at the beginning, I'm Faith Together in Croydon. So we've jointly managed to put this together. I hope that you have enjoyed your day, and I just want to say thank you to all our performers and to all yourselves for coming. And I think it's been a lovely afternoon. And just to tell you, Faith Together in Croydon, next on the 10th of November at 6 o'clock in the evening, we're having an interfaith remembrance event. We managed to finally get an interfaith remembrance event last year, and our mayor came and was moved to say this really ought to be in the mayoral calendar. So we're going again this year, 10th of November. Obviously, anyone is welcome. It's in this room at 6 o'clock on the 10th. And then, because the following week is Interfaith Week, we're planning, we haven't quite got it fixed yet, but we're planning on the Sunday the 19th in the afternoon a little interfaith walk. Sarah, you'll be pleased to hear. And we're going around the Pearl area and stopping at some places of worship there, the mosques and the churches. So look out for news of that. Anyway, I'd say thank you very much for coming and spending the day with us. I'm passing to Bruce, who wants to say a few words with you as well.
Right. Well, I'm pleased that we set up this event with the money. But I want to thank the people who actually organised it. Not only those who organised the programme, but also those who today did all the backstage work so that it could continue. I also want to thank the artists who came, the speakers. I'm very pleased, as I say, that we had this event. Our organisation has a meeting last Thursday of every month at Streatham Quakers Meeting House at lunchtime. You're very welcome. There will be more details on the website. In conclusion, I do want to say that this event signifies an important part of every faith. The part of the faith is celebrating our life on earth and earth's bounty. Thank you very much.
Well done. Well done. This one?